So Verizon phones were down 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And Julie and I both have Verizon. And so if we were outside of Wi-Fi range, couldn't use our phones for anything. So couldn't communicate, couldn't use GPS, couldn't do anything like that. So I was in the Wi-Fi bubble all day, didn't really affect me, and I left and tried to go to a place that I hadn't been before but knew pretty much where it was at, knew the major crossroads, and tried to drive over there, and my phone wasn't working. I was just like, why won't this darn thing work? And then I remembered, like, it's down. And there was something freeing about just going to the major crossroads of an area I knew pretty well, but I didn't know the exact building location. I had never seen it with my eyes before, and just drove around until I found it.
Yeah.
And then I needed to go to another place where I knew exactly where it was, but because I was in this location that I hadn't been before, I was doubting myself about what the most efficient way to go during rush hour would be to avoid traffic and to make it the quickest route possible.
Is this something that you had a time-sensitive reason to be there? You didn't have an appointment? This is just, I want to go there.
No. I mean, the time-sensitive thing is to get home at a decent time.
But you weren't under pressure to, like, be there by 5.
No. And so I had, in each of these cases, I was, like, panicked at first. Like, oh, my gosh, I can't do it. And then it was met with this moment of relief and appreciation for just being in my own head and being not in a hurry, because it made me not in a hurry because I had to just decide, well, maybe the quickest way is to go through campus. I'm just gonna go through campus.
Yeah.
And then whether or not, I'm not gonna know if it was quicker to go a different way. I guess I could go a different way another time, but it's not the same exact time.
Right.
So I just appreciated driving through campus. And then I was like, I can't call and talk to my boys and my wife on the way home, because we do that often. Like if one of us is driving, the other one calls the other, and we just talk.
Yeah. Even though you're going to see them,
even though I want to see them a little bit, yeah. And so I just put a podcast on and listened. And
how did you listen to a podcast with no data?
It was already downloaded.
Oh, smart.
Unagi. But I think in general it kind of connects to that Unplugged episode that we did. And my whole point with an unplugging app, I've evolved my thinking because of what you kind of said in there, where you can't get on board with an app locker.
Yeah.
It's going to keep you out of your phone.
Right.
But you can definitely appreciate the value of unplugging and being present with. In that context, it was with others, but in this context, it was present with myself.
Oh, yeah. That's different, right? Because the intent of those blockers and stuff like that is to have intentional time with your family, but you don't give that same courtesy to yourself sometimes, and recognition that you need that space to have to yourself, which, prior to smartphones and stuff like that is... You're driving, you're out and about. You don't have, this is when we had to put a quarter in the wall to call our parents to pick us up from the mall. And this is kind of like taking you back to those days.
Yeah. And it's strange, like the GPS thing, you wouldn't recognize it. Maybe this doesn't apply to everyone, but I realize that I'm kind of prisoner to where that thing's telling me to go. Like, I'm just looking at it every second. I'm like, even if I know where it's going, like it's telling me to go home, and I've driven on this a million times. The only reason I'm using it is for Waze.
Yes.
For traffic congestion,
cops,
and
accidents.
Yeah. That's the reason I'm using it. But yet, if it's on, I'm looking at it and going, oh, is it going to take me a different way this time?
Yeah.
And having it off was just like, I don't actually have to think about where I'm going.
You don't have to think?
I don't.
With it off?
I don't. Because I know where I'm going. I mean, it'd be one thing if I had no clue, right?
Yeah.
But it brought me back to the times where I either knew where I was going, or I looked at a map or printed off MapQuest or anything like that, memorized the route, and then just went, right?
Yeah.
Instead of looking over constantly to check with it. I'm looking at the road and I'm in my head more. I'm in my head anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I'm listening to podcasts and it's up there, but that it's almost like Big Brother telling me where to go wasn't there. And I didn't realize that it was Big Brother until I turned it off. I think I'm going to use GPS a lot less when I know exactly where I'm going.
Yeah.
Or not until, like, go as far as I can and then turn it on in the last little bit to get there.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Although, like, for me, I will have driven somewhere new, with my son playing soccer. We do a lot of traveling throughout the state and going to new places I've never been to before. And there are times where we hit pockets where T-Mobile doesn't have a good signal. So I'm kind of freaking out because it's like I wasn't present enough to know what I've done for the past 30 miles that I could like retrace my steps.
Right.
Like, no, I know that there was a sign that said Farm Fresh butt nuggets. Well, I couldn't tell you where that was, because I'm focusing on little details rather than like the 20,000 foot overview.
So what do you do in that situation? Like, what happens? Do you wait?
Yeah.
You keep driving and you wait?
Yep.
And then you get service?
Yep.
That's exactly what happens.
I'm a dum-dum. My phone, I want my phone to be Big Brother and tell me what to do, so I have to make less decisions and just listen to Baby Shark.
Do, 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 do. Hey everyone, welcome to Make Me Like This. He's Brandon, I'm Jeff, and this episode, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I have something that I'm not sure if I like or not, kind of on the fence about, and I want to see if Brandon can make me like it. The thing, Brandon, that I'm not sure about is my birthday.
Yeah.
My birthday is coming up tomorrow. So
yeah.
We're talking hours at this point until it's my birthday.
That's true.
And I've already started to receive some of the things I don't like about my birthday.
Which are what? Facebook messages?
Facebook messages haven't come yet.
Okay.
Those will come at 12:01 in the morning, I'm sure, starting. And then we'll roll throughout the day.
And even the next day of like happy belated birthday.
Yeah. Because Facebook is going to be sending push notifications
to people who you haven't talked to in 20 years.
To people to say happy birthday to me.
Right.
And I think that's a good like analogy or just like a sliver of what bothers me is like compliance of gift giving.
Yeah. Wait, is it gifts or is it like, are you considering like a greeting a gift?
Compliance behavior,
okay.
I guess. So compliance, gift giving, compliance, happy birthdays.
Social norms of you
norms.
have to write happy birthday, Jeff, and then a little emoji of the confetti thing so that you can properly say like, oh, I did my part. I did what's expected of me. I'm connected with you on Facebook. I am obligated to extend that greeting to you.
Yeah. And it even goes to a point where I think about the burden that it puts on my wife to get me something. And
do you think it's a burden?
I think if you have to think long and hard about giving, because you have to, that's dumb.
Is it a burden on you to buy her gifts?
Sometimes.
Okay. Do you hold that against her? And you like?
No, it's not as big a deal.
You dummy! Why did you have to be alive on Christmas?
That's why I'm kind of on the fence about this because I don't want to sound like a hipster.
Okay.
But this is gonna sound way hipster.
Yeah.
I guess.
As you're scratching your beard and adjusting your thick rimmed glasses.
I have neither of those things.
I'm staring at you right now. You have got a beard and thick rimmed glasses.
I didn't touch my beard, and I guess these are thick.
You will. Throughout the course of this conversation, you will. There you go. Get it right up close to the camera.
To the camera. Where were we?
Okay, so you think it's a burden on your loved ones to have to think about getting you presents. You think it's inauthentic for people to extend birthday greetings to you just because of social norms. Is that it? Is it just a hang up on you feel like people are obligated to do this and treat you well because of one day on the calendar?
On the surface, yes. I think beneath the surface, there's a ton of psychology that we could jump into.
Sure.
I don't like Christmas either. It gives me anxiety. I don't like...
From which aspect? The receiving of gifts or the getting of gifts or both?
A little bit of both. I don't want to receive something... I like a $10 Starbucks card.
Yeah.
I will use a $10 Starbucks card, but so do a lot of other people.
Yeah.
And there's other cases where I'll get a $10 Target card,
mm-hmm.
and I don't go to Target hardly enough,
Sure.
and would have to intentionally go out to do that.
Okay.
And so I'd much rather a person keep their $10 than have to burden me to go out to Target, like an intentional trip.
Do you feel like it's a burden to go to Target?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Or what most likely happens is that gift card never gets used.
Okay, and then you feel bad that they've wasted their money and thrown it down.
I do feel bad that they've done that. I also really, I know that the spirit of, I know people, one of them is my wife, who treat Christmas like a checklist, an itemized checklist.
Yep.
Where you have to have all the loved ones on the list. You seek and destroy on Amazon and in the physical retail stores. And you make sure that it all comes out to $22.93 a person.
Yeah, so it's equal.
So there's equal, and that is what the mission is, like the going and doing that. I think all of this, what it comes down to is I have childhood baggage with it.
Okay.
My father, bad guy.
Yeah.
Not a good guy.
Not good.
He used to say that birthdays weren't special.
He would say,
like my birthday's
to
not,
you specifically, hey, your birthday's not special.
Your birthday's not special. If we give people stuff and like, why would we only pick one day out of the year that's just arbitrarily when you were born and like make that be a reminder to treat people with kindness and show that you love them when we can do that throughout the entire year?
You should do it every day.
We do it randomly. You should do it every day.
Yeah. Do you think that was his intent behind that?
Oh no, it's because he
didn't want to buy you
he's a selfish prick who was manipulating my mind to make me value not getting gifts.
Right. So now, as an adult, deconstructing that, you still though feel like it's not special and you should do it every day. Because I found
value in that statement, because the way that I interpreted it was, gosh, you're right.
Yeah.
The act of gift giving should be this serendipitous thing where I see this thing that Brandon would appreciate. Like he would really like this thing. It would be unexpected that he would get it. Or like this would really clown him.
Yeah.
And he would have a good time laughing about it. And so I'm gonna do it, and I'm just gonna leave it on his desk. I'm not gonna wrap it.
Yeah.
I might even take it out of the packaging.
Right.
Like the gifts. Gifts are like this chunk of your heart that you rip out and you put you give to someone if it's physical, or like this is really weird. And now I'm putting it on record, but I don't care. I would love to have a surprise party. Oh. Now that I put that out there, anyone that hears this, F you, because I don't like your surprise party because you did it because I asked for it.
Yeah, right.
I'm a complicated person.
Sure. But you're saying in a perfect scenario where this hasn't influenced this, and someone on their own decided, I want to throw a surprise party for Jeff, you would be okay with that?
Yeah. Especially if it was like in January.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird, man.
It is weird.
That's weird.
But I think it kind of just illustrates, like, it could be like on my birthday. It could be like around about my birthday. I just like the overwhelming unexpectedness of it. It's like on March 9th every year, I wake up and I don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I expect there to be this giving of gifts,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll go out and we'll have a nice meal somewhere, and constantly I'll be asked leading up to it and during the day, what do you want to do for your birthday?
Yeah.
Where do you
want to go eat?
Where do you want to go eat? What do you want? And it's now that I'm in my 30s, I get a lot less of that. Like, my mom has just sent me checks.
Yeah.
Instead of like, hey, what would you like for your birthday?
Right.
Or that stuff always killed me. So it's getting better. It can just be a day. And then like it's kind of like a reason to go do something together, which is okay. I'm okay with. But like, I would love if I didn't have to influence the decision making. I would love if it wasn't just a random card from acquaintances, right?
Yeah.
That if all of a sudden it was like this really, I don't even know, unexpected and thoughtful. Unexpected and thoughtful is what I appreciate, and I've just found that like my birthday doesn't have surprise and there's thoughtfulness. I'm not gonna say that the gifts that I get from people are not thoughtful.
Yeah,
it just like isn't out of the box. Wow, I think the surprise is what I'm missing. It's not unexpected.
Did you have that when you were younger?
I've never had that.
No surprise.
I've never had that. It was like, hey Jeff, do you want an ice cream Ghostbusters cake for your birthday?
Yeah.
I was like, hell yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But it never was like a surprise. It was like it always needed my approval.
Yeah.
And in my life, everything is like that. Everything is predictable, and everything that I do gets my sign off. Because people are courteous. People are really, really courteous.
Yeah, and that, and that's not specific to you, right? That's something that I've experienced where, as an uncle and as a service to my sisters and sister-in-laws who are buying gifts for my kids, they always ask for a list. Give us a list of things that your kid is going to want so that when they open it, they're going to be happy, and we're going to coordinate so that two of us don't get the same thing, so that they're bummed out. They get two of the same thing and they got to go to the store and return it, exchange or something like that. And it feels like, and I know that it's well intentioned because it's all born of wanting to provide the maximum excitement and enjoyment for this kid.
Yeah.
And what my hang up about it is like, I don't want to tell you everything that you have to do to buy. It's like the GPS, right? It's like, tell me what to do. I will turn right here, go to Target and buy a transformer. Like it's getting back to what one of your hangups, inauthenticity, right? It's just like, oh, I know you so well that I got this gift that I know that you'll really like. No. Takes that out of the equation. Tell me exactly what the thing is you like. And I've got a lot of, siblings and sibling-in-laws and, parents and parent-in-laws that there isn't enough stuff that my kids want to extrapolate over all of the people who are buying gifts and coming to a party and giving them to my children. So we end up like scraping the bottom of the barrel. It's like, okay, give us let's work on a list of things that you want. Okay, we get it down to like 4 things or something. It's like, okay, what about the other 10 people who are trying to buy you something? And like, I don't know. I guess I like, this random Fortnite shirt, and but that's the thing, man. Is in theory, this is something that's trying to be kind and accommodate the kid and be the best possible experience for it, and like trying to engineer it and tweak it so that it's just like the number one best birthday ever.
It's overdone to where it can't. It's the same thing every year.
Right.
It's a stress ball. I mean, you're talking about a kid's birthday, so
Yeah.
you're in the role of a parent in
Right.
this, being like the facilitator of the happiness.
Yeah.
Which has got to be when I've got a 3-year-old and I've got a kid coming up to be 1. Every year, it's just toys are so cheap at that age,
right,
that they just get showered
with
junk.
Crap ton of toys.
So that's the problem, is the junk for me, but not the like burden of like, let's make sure there's no overlapping, because your kids are aware enough,
right,
to where if they got this duplicate toys, that would cause stress to the gift giver.
Yeah.
Because God forbid the gift giver has any like ill feelings. That's what it is, man. I think that holidays and birthdays and all of that stuff benefit the gift giver.
Absolutely.
It's all about the gift giver.
We've coached our kids that if you open something and it's something you already have, it's something you don't like, you still pretend that is a good gift, because you don't want to hurt the feelings of the person who gave you that gift.
And as an adult, it's the same thing. And that's why it's so lame. Because you open up and you go, oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a $15 Starbucks card.
Yeah.
And any of my colleagues listening to this, I appreciate the $15 Starbucks card.
Right.
Thank you for that. But it's not thoughtful. Like it's
15. Wow, man.
It's okay.
I'm not saying that facetiously. I'm like, that's a good gift.
It might be 10. Does it make it any better? It's still a good gift,
It's
right?
still a good gift, yeah. But $10 is all I'd spend on you.
It's not like they
15 is like, okay, man, we're
but like
getting crazy here.
Like if they would have given me a crinkled up double quarter pounder wrapper,
you'd appreciate that.
I would be like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, thanks, guys.
Oh, not with the quarter pounder in it.
No.
I was going to say, food would be a good gift for you, though.
If it was food, if it was like a lukewarm cheeseburger from McDonald's, like there's some humor to that. Like there's thoughtfulness, yet like playing to my sensibilities of like self-deprecation.
Sure.
Right. So
which you appreciate.
I do do appreciate a good self-deprecation thing. But like what I wonder about you is like, do you appreciate your own personal birthday?
Yeah, I do. So my son's birthday is a couple of days after mine. Since he's been born, it's always been kind of like we shoehorn in a short couple, little tiny part of his birthday celebration with all the family there, and then we honor my birthday.
Is it a couple? Did you say a couple days or a
couple
of
days? Couple of days. Okay. Couple of days. So, there was and because it's my kid, that I'm like, you know what, give him the attention, and I don't care, I could care less. But there is a part of me that struggled with thinking like, okay, not that I want attention, and in fact it's people find it weird that as someone who has done like theater and acting and comedy, stuff like that I want and seek attention in the sense of like, everybody look at me in the room. My love for that kind of stuff is in the creation aspect of it, of making of art, making of something and putting it out there, an idea, and taking it from my brain and putting it out in there. I could care less if people watch it or experience it or see it. It's the act of doing it is what enjoyment I get out of it.
Yeah.
So like my wedding, 300 people looking at my wife and I and stuff like that, a little uncomfortable, even though I've stood up in front of 300 people and done an improv show. Right? Because it's just a different context. So I am not, that's a long way of saying like, I'm not one for personal attention. But there was a part of me that was like, I now get a sliver of acknowledgement of, hey, it's your birthday, and the majority of it goes to my son, which if I have to share it with someone, I'm happy to share it with a child and cool. Get it and push it onto him and stuff like that. But I think there was a little bit of like, oh, everyone else in the family gets their own day that we, celebrate, even like the in-laws and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't even get that, because it's so close to a big gathering that it's like, oh, well, we're already together. So, we're getting together
we'll throw it in
on Saturday for your son's party. So we'll let you blow out one candle and then open a gift card.
It was the biggest relief for me that once my brother and sister-in-law had their first child.
Which was before your child.
Which was before my child. I think probably 7, 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
The introduction of a grandchild for my in-laws, for my mother-in-law, was great for me. Because before that, my mother-in-law loves giving. She loves buying gifts.
Yeah.
She over gifts.
Yeah.
And it's a burden that's shifted for me.
Right.
Not one that's completely gone away. But I used to get a ton of crap as the boyfriend of her daughter.
Yeah.
I would get like a full-on Christmas, like bigger than what my mom would do for me.
Right. And even more pressure of opening it and giving a good reaction because they're welcoming you into the family, and then this is like a token of like you're one of us and you're welcome, and for you to like be like, ugh, this is an ugly shirt. It would be like pissing on this gesture.
Well, I did that, like, and then she stopped giving it to me.
I'm sure that might be an element of truth.
Yeah, and then she was like, "Man, we got to get some grandkids in here so that I can use that as an excuse because I don't want to confront Jeff that his urination has made me not want to give him gifts anymore."
His urination?
But I would get this big. It was so. One year I remember she gave everyone a IKEA bag.
IKEA bag?
As a gift.
Okay.
An IKEA bag as a gift. And she was very particular in calling it a gift, and I was kind of like, that's weird.
Bags that you
blue bags
when you walk into IKEA, not something you purchase in the store, but this is the stuff that you put other stuff in that you want to buy.
Yep. Huge bags.
Those.
Really, really great. I take them to Meijer.
Okay.
And load up groceries.
Did she steal them?
I don't think you
can buy them.
I don't know. We have them. We definitely have them, but everything fit in there perfectly.
Yeah.
So clearly
the Swedes know how to design a bag.
And she knew you needed a big bag to take all this stuff home.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot.
Right.
Right? But, now my kids, now we take home 2 IKEA bags for my kids, and we need to find a grocery bag for my stocking.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, I'm cut out of the gift giving, which is totally fine.
Right.
Thank you, Ruby. I appreciate it. But
stop stealing shit.
Stop. Man, the Swedes, they're such nice people.
Like, okay, well, you obviously need this more than I do.
When Swedes know English, it's hard to tell if they're Swedes or not.
Oh,
it just sounds like they're an android.
It just
there's just something slightly off.
Yeah.
It's like watching the Umbrella Academy right now, and the mother she's a robot android thing.
Hey,
I'm on
episode 2, you dum dum.
Oh, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. I keep falling asleep halfway through.
Spoilers.
Umbrella Academy spoilers.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I'm just
gonna breeze past that pass because I'm gonna get pissed if I think about it too much.
The boy.
No. Okay. What I was kind of getting to with the attention thing is, you were a lot of this discussion has been focused around gifts and gift giving and stuff like that. But is the attention aspect of it also what's uncomfortable for you?
It's weird. It's a good point. I'm gonna open this cookie and eat it. So
you're gonna trigger ASMR and
I'm stress eating.
Okay.
You're right. I don't want the attention.
Right.
But yet I told you
want to.
I'd really like a surprise party, which is like the height of attention.
Right.
I don't really want a surprise party, but I love the concept of it. Like if it happened just once and I completely didn't know about it, and it just made me think about how much effort someone had to go into to just like it's weird. I really appreciate people's effort.
Yeah.
Like when a person tries to do something really, really nice for me, I really, really appreciate it. And it's really shitty of me to dismiss or be like the judge of what's thoughtful.
Yeah.
Because like I can't get into someone's mind, and
you don't know their intent.
I don't know their intent. I don't know the effort that they went into. But I want the thinking of it to be minimal. Like, I don't want there to be a ton of thought. I want it to be obvious that this would be what they wanted to do, and that all of their energy that is spent, if it's a ton of energy or it's a little bit of energy, all their energy is spent in doing something, knowing that, oh, this is going to be awesome. He's going to really like this.
Yeah.
Because that's all I want is like my birthday should be a day that makes everyone feel great. It shouldn't be a burden on anyone. And I don't want to... It's a burden to dismiss Facebook notifications or respond to all of them.
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory is not the greatest show, but like I really resonate with Sheldon's like dilemma with like giving and receiving of gifts. And
I stopped watching a few years ago, so I'm not sure I'm familiar.
Another spoiler.
I don't care about spoiling Big Bang Theory.
Okay. It's pretty much what it is. Is like when someone gives you a gift, you have to give something back of equal value.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And the gift giving cycle never ends.
Yeah.
So like extrapolate that to something that's like not completely stupid and idiotic, and it's Sheldon.
Yeah.
To like it just is like this burden of like, do I have to go above and beyond and return the favor? Mm-hmm. No, you should give without expecting to ever have anything in return.
Yes.
And it should be something that you just really love giving that gift. And if I can say anything about Ruby, my mother-in-law, she gives without ever expecting to receive anything in return.
It brings her joy,
right,
to give gifts.
Yeah.
And it's not because she thinks she's going to get something of equal value back. It's because she genuinely wants to give joy. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is admirable.
Right. And so you know what? The thing I really love about my birthday is like deep down inside, I really love like that one day I'm one age and the next day I'm another. Mm-hmm. I'm really fascinated. I'm
from a data perspective, it's like, oh,
it's really crazy that like on my 21st birthday before midnight, I could not get served alcohol.
Right.
But 1 minute later, they would serve me alcohol.
Yeah.
That is crazy interesting how artificial that is.
It's arbitrary and stuff like that. And you think even further about turning decades, right? Like from 29 to 30, from 39 to 40. It's in the end,
it's another day of your life.
It is.
But you just turned 40 years old.
And even though there's nothing physically different, well, a little bit, but not overnight, right?
This cookie's so good.
You're getting crumbs everywhere. This is really unsanitary. But it's interesting in that there's a different mindset of a 30-year-old versus a 20-year-old. There's different. It's a different era in your life that you're entering, and one phase of your life is over, and then you're into this new one, and there's a little bit of excitement around that. There's a little bit of like I think mourning of mm-hmm. what you were, right? But it's all under the guise of like growth and change and something that I think is really cool. I was really excited to turn 40. Because, it was shocking for a lot of people when they found out I was 39. What more if I can say, actually, I'm 40, and then be like, no, and
But then you turned 40 and they were like, yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You look 40.
Yeah, you got that gray going. But, so the only thing that I can see that is still a hang up for you about this is the connection to your dad and the effect that those interactions had on you growing up, and a lot of these difficulties with the day and it's ingrained in you. You are not special. This is not a special thing. It's arbitrary to bestow a bunch of gifts and niceties on someone because of what the calendar says. You should do it all year round and stuff like that. And so pulling it back to, that traumatic experience, as a child in your formative years, where everyone else, where I'm, getting roller skates and DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince cassette tape, I'm getting a Ghostbusters proton pack. I'm thinking this is the best thing in the world. I can't wait till my birthday. I can't sleep the night before because I'm just so pumped about the way that my family treats a birthday and the way that I was raised. My parents, the morning or the night before your birthday, after you've gone to sleep, they put streamers on your door frame and streamers in, so when you wake up and you walk out, you're walking out through streamers. And that's something that I do for my kids and my wife on their birthday, so that it's something that's continued on because of
that is so awesome.
The joy that it brought me, that I was like, oh, this is special, and that is something that I wanted. That's a gift that I wanted to pass along to my kids. It's not a streamer costs 49 cents, a roll of them. So it's not about the monetary value. It's about this day. I want to make you feel joy.
I'm almost speechless. That's what I want.
Yeah.
There's two things. One, there is the baggage that I have. Let's put that up to the side for a second, because every year gets better. The further I get away from that, the more I just appreciate my birthday.
Yeah.
But I think something that started off with that influence, that childhood influence, that's kind of carried through to now, is that in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, okay, what's going to happen? What are those wily people in my life going to do for me today? And then it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's quiet.
Yeah.
But what sucks is, because of my belief of for the longest time, I've put out birthdays are no big deal. It's just another day. I just low key. I don't like to celebrate my birthday. I feel like people have no choice but to believe me that that's what I want.
Why would they think otherwise?
Yeah. It's his day. If he wants it diminished, let's do. And I don't want the big blowouts or anything like that. But the streamers and decorating, you guys did that for me in my office space one time.
Yeah.
And even though I acted embarrassed, I love that.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool. I never seen anyone do that before.
Yeah.
So when it was only a matter of months, when I started.
Yeah, a couple months, right?
Yeah. And
you started in January.
Yeah, so it was around my dad.
We weren't even sure we liked you at that point.
At that point, and you didn't know me well enough to not celebrate my birthday.
Yeah.
Right? And I really haven't had that since, because I put out the vibe that blah, blah, blah. I loved that.
Yeah.
Because it was different. I had never experienced it before, and I felt loved, right?
Yeah.
So as much as, one thing maybe... It's less about my dad and more about the fact that I'm disappointed in myself for not articulating how I actually feel about stuff.
Yeah.
And not really feeling like I'm not entitled to set expectations that I want to be surprised.
Well, and you don't feel like you deserve that in a way.
Yeah, I guess, I'm starting to feel like I do.
Yeah, yeah. The older you get and further removed from that experience.
And the further removed from childhood.
Yeah.
When, I would think that people feel like less of a big deal should be made out of their birthday the older they get.
True.
But, because don't get me wrong, I had some good birthdays as a kid. I don't remember them in gory detail. But, my mom and my siblings and my extended family treated me well.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But it was always just nothing happened to where I was really caught off guard.
Yes.
I never lost control.
Yeah.
I was always in control of everything, and I like being in control for the most part.
Sure.
It's a good feeling. I usually make decisions. I'm that jerk that says, no, I'm not going there for that. Like, let's go there instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm starting to feel like I'm entitled to it. I'm starting to feel like I want it, but I'm feeling like every year it's less and less appropriate to ask for it.
Yeah. And I think I have a reason for that. And this is going to be the icing on the birthday cake.
Oh,
okay. So we're going to...
You got any corn too for us to eat?
Corn? What are you talking about? So, given your experience of being told, hey, your birthday is not special, as you get further and further away from that and grow into your role as a dad, and you're providing those things for your kids, your boys, right? The joy that you get from seeing your kids enjoy their birthday.
Yeah.
Think about that, okay? And that's great, and that's enjoyable, and you want to be able to provide that to them and say, hey, you guys do deserve this. And you guys, I want you to have a great birthday, and even though I show you love every other day of the year, I want to say, this is an extra special day for you, and your mom and I and your brother are going to make this a really cool day for you and honor you. Mm-hmm. So think about that, and then flip it on its head. And think about tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Your boys and your wife are going to draw you a card. They're going to, your youngest son is too young to articulate anything, but your 3-year-old is going to say, happy birthday, daddy. And he might bring a toy over to you that he likes, and or bring a book over to you, want you to read it with him, and stuff like that. Him and your wife and the other son, to the extent that he can as a 1-year-old, will get joy out of honoring you, their dad, their spouse, on their birthday. And that you deserve. That you have earned, right? Yeah. And it's less about you, but it is about you and you deserving it and wanting that, appropriate attention from the people you're closest to. But also, it's about them.
Right.
My kids love drawing cards for me.
Yeah.
And their mom, and it's like, I put a little scavenger hunt on it for you, or I made a maze, and then at the end of the maze is you with your birthday cake and all of us, or standing around.
That's
and
awesome.
Stuff like that. And the joy that my kids get, like the anticipation of me opening up the present that they helped pick out, they know I'm going to be so excited about, because, and even if it's not a good present, it's like, oh, I really thought Dad would like barbecue tongs for the grill, or whatever, stuff like that. But they're like, he's gonna love this. He's, the joy that I, as a 7-year-old, get from opening my presents on my birthday. He's feeling that right now, and he is going to, and I'm so excited for him to feel what I felt back when it was my birthday, and just back wanting that for you.
That's exactly how the kids think,
right?
Too.
Exactly, because they don't know it. Especially the younger ones, they don't know any. All they know is birthday is awesome.
Yeah.
So think about,
lean into it. Don't
lean
dismiss
into that.
it.
Think about it from the perspective of your boys. Most importantly, your young sons who look up to you.
Yeah.
And are happy to honor you. Yeah. And happy to give you a gift that they didn't go out and buy, and they're not saying like okay, I'm going to spend $23.59 on you, whatever. They
didn't rack their brain for months thinking about what the perfect gift would be.
Yeah, they're not clicking through Amazon onto the page 23 trying to find I'm
going to draw a picture of me and Dad.
Yeah.
And that's the extent of the thought. Right. And then got markers and printer paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I love that.
Yeah. So
I got the waterworks under control when you started thinking about your boys, and then you were looking at me, and I was like, I don't want to make Brandon crack.
I'm looking at the cookie crumbs in your beard.
So I was just like, dude, this is a luxurious beard. There's lots of things. It's like Mary Poppins' bag, my beard.
I do not know what that means.
You don't know what that means?
Not really. I don't like that old stuff. So thinking about,
they just did a remake.
I didn't see that. It's not a Marvel movie. I don't see it.
You were just talking about Lin-Manuel in
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I can see that for free on my couch. I'm not paying $20 for.
You paid for it though.
I did. Damn it. You're right.
You pay for network TV
now. Will you let me just have this moment to say, Jeff, we talked about the reasons why you have hard feelings about birthday coming around, and then the awkwardness about it, the arbitrary nature of it, the social pressure to do certain things, and even the burden that's on your family to accommodate you and get you presents and plan like where we're going to go for dinner and stuff like that. But thinking about it from the perspective of A, you deserve this, and B, your family deserves to feel the joy of making you feel special on your birthday and honoring you as a loved one and their father and their spouse. If you think about it from that perspective, do you like your birthday?
You know what you got me to do is like to just air everything that I've felt historically.
Yeah.
And some of them are more historical than others. Like some of those reasons are dated.
Yeah. And maybe in hindsight as an adult, irrational.
Right.
And saying them out loud is like, well,
They're dated.
Yeah.
Like saying Bill Cosby's your favorite comedian. Right? Like at one point that might have been true.
Oh yeah, that was appropriate.
But if you do that now, you're
a creep.
You need to move on.
Yeah, and we're getting close to being able to do that to Michael Jackson music, and I'm not ready for that.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Okay, no Thriller at Halloween. What are we gonna dance to? But in an hour's time, what I've realized is all of that stuff is no longer live for me.
Yeah.
And anytime that I get curmudgeon-y about it, I'm just holding on to something that isn't true anymore.
Yeah.
And when you started talking about like my boys and doing it for like leaning into the joy,
yeah.
Like if you can't do it for yourself, do it. You didn't say that. You said do that and appreciate it yourself.
Yes.
But if you can't do it for yourself, do it for them.
Mm-hmm.
And what I heard from you, and you may have not have, it might be me saying it just as much as you. It's like if it's not just what you do on their birthdays, because we take the day off so far, and we take the boys out,
do something
fun,
yeah.
and just have a jam-packed day of fun, and then they pass out because they've had so much fun.
Yeah.
And what I realize is I'm doing that for them, and then when the 3-year-old comes in the morning and says, "Happy birthday, Dad," I'm just kind of like being like, "Oh, thanks, buddy," instead of being like, "Yeah, it's my birthday."
Yeah.
And like modeling the excitement, like that it's appropriate to be that excited. Because like I could do all this fun stuff for my son, every one of his birthdays, but if I'm just nonchalant about mine all the time and not recognizing it, is there a risk, like over time, even though we're doing all of this jam-packed stuff, that he's just nonchalant in his attitude towards it? Like
he'll inherently
just
grow into.
This is how we look at it. This is how you're supposed to defer. I think of myself as like early presidents.
Early president.
How like it used to be. That sounds so like pretentious. I think a lot about myself. Like it used to be that you were called to serve.
Yeah.
And that like you reluctantly participated.
Yeah.
And did it for the good of your country.
Right.
Like this is way more minor than that. But like I kind of have that attitude that like, I'll participate for other people.
Yes.
Other people want this.
Yeah.
I've always thought that my birthday was for other people.
Yeah.
And I don't want that for my boys. So, like, everything that I've said in this podcast up until this point, arguing against birthdays is bullshit.
Yeah.
And I don't believe it anymore.
Good.
I haven't had many moments in my life like that. I don't believe anything of what I said 40 minutes ago.
Oh, good.
And yes, I really like the idea of celebrating my birthday tomorrow without expectation.
Yeah.
Without the need for surprise.
Yeah.
But if they all come, just take it in as like a general feeling of like, this is important. This is a day for me. Mm-hmm. This is a day for my boys to see me with nothing but joy for the day. And take it as they come and stop having the negative anticipation and the dread of nothing good happening. Because when I do that, I miss the good that's happening.
Yeah.
So
and you lead them to miss the good that's happening unintentionally.
Right. Unintentionally. Like, I don't want to diminish like the good. Like, I don't want to get a drawing and be like, oh yeah, that's great, and push it off to the side. Right. I want to be ready to be like, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
Because in the past I wouldn't be, because I'm too caught up with myself and how I feel about my birthday.
Right. And you can't do that with your kids.
No, I can't. And you've kind of reminded me that, like, if I can't fake it. I have to be sincerely just ecstatic about stuff.
Right.
Because that's, kids see right through that.
Yeah.
And why not have fun with my kid? Why not have another day to have fun with my kids for no darn reason except for I was born 34 years ago.
Why not embrace a day with your family? A fun day with your family.
Yeah. That's why I say, like, it's a profound moment, but like get over yourself. It's all bullshit. None of it's real.
Right.
It's all constructed in your head, and it's left over from your past.
Right.
Yeah. So thank you. I needed this going into my birthday.
Yeah.
And I think I'll do it for Biggie.
Do it for Biggie. Yeah. Should we just change the title of this podcast to Therapy for Jeff?
I think one, it would be easier for us.
Yeah.
Two, no one would listen to it.
There ain't a ton of people listening now, so. But thank you for listening if you've made it this far. I'm Brandon, that's Jeff. Happy birthday to Jeff. Hope it's a good one.
Thank you.
And we'll talk to you next time.